It is time for me to get back on the early train because uh, here it is, almost 2 p.m. It's like I keep doing this a little bit later every day. Um, it's been a busy morning. Of course, I didn't sleep well. I was part of that big, giant global meditation last night. Sydney, I think, had the best of it. He picked our choice chair outside, staring up at the moon. Um, I had to go inside. I was cold and uncomfortable. Um, but that was interesting. We did that together for about an hour. Um, and then I was up again. I happened to notice it was 3:33 in the morning. And I was mostly worried about money. I was mostly worried about what's next and how I noticed that I had a bunch of auto payments going from, my bank account to my credit cards. And I thought, well, that has to stop or there won't be any money in the bank accounts. Um, so I don't know. It was just like a little momentary freak out. I probably should have been saying to myself, be grateful you have credit cards, um, which I am. Be grateful I have a warm house and everything is good and I'm healthy and I'm still wondering where my next vegetables are coming from. But hey, I have broccoli today. um, More importantly, I have coffee because a week or so ago I bought a giant bag of beans that I discovered you can grind in a Vitamix. Did you know this? Hardly anybody has a Vitamix because it's a $400 blender, and I don't even know. I think back in the days when I was feeling flush, I bought a $400 blender. Oh, who does that? But you know what? That thing makes amazing smoothies and amazing ground coffee. Does everything. Um, so yeah, money is funny. Money's funny. I keep trying to maintain perspective about that. Um, because I think about all the things that I'm happy to do for free, give for free, receive for free, things that are more valuable than money. Um, People that have left countries with nothing except what they could carry. And I look around my house and I think, what would I take? Like what means everything to me? Different lists on different days. um, it's you know what? The photos are almost always on that list, and I think, how the heck would I do that? Because yes, my professional photos are mostly online and available to people, and my personal photos are not. I can't actually take that in. I can't actually think about that. I mean, a lot of them are. A lot of my stuff is, it's on my Instagram or my Facebook. Thank God for those things because without them, I wouldn't have much of anything. And by the way, I know we all have a love-hate relationship with Facebook, which probably won't be around forever. So just be prepared. um, and actually, here's how I prepare for that because I love books. I love books. Got my books here. These are just little books. This is just a corner, a nook. Um, I could sleep in a library. I'd be happy to sleep in a library. I probably was some sort of archivist librarian in some other lifetime. Anyway, one of the things I do every year with my Facebook feed, and by the way, I treat my Facebook feed like a journal or a scrapbook. So I'm pretty careful about what I post. You'll never see me posting. I don't do a lot of ranting. I don't do a lot of whining, complaining, criticizing. it's not that I don't see bad news, and it's not that I'm not informed or paying attention, although right now I've tuned out a lot. Um, it's that I don't want to give it more energy, and sharing it gives it more energy. So my little workaround and my way of um, contributing is to contribute the good stuff. I used to say this actually years ago when I was just thinking of myself as a wedding photographer. And by the way, that used to be such a bad word. It's gotten better. But and I had a very good friend, Michael Yasikovich, who was a journalist, basically war correspondent. Much more like interested in covering wars. And I thought we should do a show together that would have been so interesting, called Weddings and Wars, because his way of, and he also used to work with me on some of the earliest weddings that I photographed. Michael was my second shooter, I could say assistant, but he was so much more than that. Brilliant photographer. And his way of photographing a war was really about capturing the humanity and the what we all have in common, and the mothers. And he had one particular picture that I've never forgotten. I can't tell you where it was, but it's a picture of hands, like of mothers getting like government ration, I don't know, handout food, like some little biscuit of some kind. I feel like it was uh, in Ukraine when the Russians invaded. Uh, or was it Georgia? Sorry. Um, but there was something about it that was so beautiful. Like he was finding the beauty in war, sort of the way I find the beauty in a wedding. And it's like a search for the most human, the things that connect us. Anyway, I think my point was that, so I like to think that I curate my feed on Facebook to be how I want to remember a time of my life, a little bit of the world around me, a little bit of what's happening, a lot of humor, that's important. Um, Great ideas. I love great ideas. I'm always posting those, and and then I don't and just like a little selection of personal stuff. And then at the end of every year, I publish the year, like a yearbook. I mean, I was a yearbook editor after all. And these are my personal yearbooks. And I use this company called My Social Book, which I think it's really cool. I think Blurb does it too, and I love Blurb. I love you, Rick Kramlik, who is the CEO, who I went to high school with. I love what these little self-publishing companies do and how they allow us to make our own books of our own lives. And we don't just have to buy other people's books, we can buy our books. So that's what I do at the end of every year. I have a little shelf. Maybe I'll show them to you one day, but I have, sort of that many on my shelf. And I do a separate book for my Instagram feed because I treat that a little bit differently. And for me, I don't often share my professional work on Instagram. I do it's more of just, I don't know, it's another piece of me. It's another side of me. It's my walks on the beach. It's the pictures of nature. Like it'll be a little taste of what's going on in my life. There's a lot of my son there. And there's a fair amount of Sydney and the dogs and just stuff like that. I started Instagram late. I wish I'd started earlier. But I like the way I use it. And I alternate between making it public and making it private and all of that. And I struggle with going public. Even this is kind of hard for me because one of my core words is private. And I kind of like to keep things private. So here I am being public. It's very weird. It's very weird. But I like extremes. I like balance. I like opposites. I like unpredictable. I like to think I'm a little unpredictable. Actually, some people think I'm completely nuts and really unpredictable. I'm not. I'm really not. Okay, that's my non-coherent whatever for the day. Make books of everything. Be careful what you put out in the world. It's important. I think it's important what we give energy to. Yeah, I do not participate in the political bashing conversation. I will contribute to the humor version of that. Man, I miss Jon Stewart. Don't we all miss Jon Stewart? I love Trevor Noah. I love Stephen Colbert. I love what all comedians are doing right now. They are smart, wise educators in a funny, twisted way. But yeah, I'm pretty careful where I put my energy. And if it's super negative, it's not that I push it down and suppress it, but I try not to give it too much time. I'd rather just like let the negative come through me and go out and go bye-bye. Bye-bye. So, bye-bye. People are not negative. People are positive. I'm positive too. I'm careful. Mindful. That's the word I was looking for. All right. Have a lovely rest of the weekend, everybody.